Welcome to the Blind Abilities coverage of the 2018 National Federation of the Blind Convention, sponsored by Aira.
Aira, your life, your schedule, right now.
Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and I'm at the National Federation of the Blind 2018 in Orlando, and I came up to the Amazon booth. We're talking about the Fire TV, the new Fire TV.
Hi, my name is Peter Korn, and I'm the Director of Accessibility at Amazon Lab 126. And we have before us a physical television made by Toshiba. This is a 43-inch smart TV with 4K Ultra HD capability. It has Fire TV functionality built into it, which means it has Alexa, means it has the voice view screen reader, means it has our magnifier built in. So the TV is currently on, just as if I had turned it on after getting it out of the box. I'm going to press the back and menu buttons on the remote for 2 seconds, like this.
Voice view ready. Home. 2 of 7.
And that turns on
Use left and right to move between items.
And that turns on the voice view screen reader. And now we have the screen reading interface to the TV, and that screen reader works everywhere on everything that the TV does.
That's impressive.
Thanks. This TV is $329.99. It's available as of a couple weeks ago on Amazon.com as well as in Best Buy stores. You can just walk into Best Buy and walk out with one of these babies. In fact, unfortunately, the nice folks at our shipper broke our screen when they were shipping it to us. So this TV right here, we picked up last night at Best Buy.
You just wanted to stress that point that people can just pick it right up.
Well, that wasn't why we broke the TV and bought a new one. That wasn't the point of doing that, but it does illustrate the point that they're available for sale right now in the store. So I'm going to go ahead and use the remote and arrow over to some movies, actually some TV shows.
Your videos, movies, TV shows. 5 of 7.
And then I'm going to go down to a TV show.
Suits season. Because You Want Featured TV. Sponsored. Check. Original series in 4K Ultra HD. A Very English Scandal. Season 1. Ultra HD. Prime. Button.
And after a pause,
English Scandal, Ultra HD, 2018, rated TV 14, closed captioning available, Season 1. The shocking true story of the first British politician to stay.
Hush. I pressed the play pause button to hush it up.
So people can get the title, they can get a little bit of description of what the show is and the channel.
And all of that's automatically read after a brief pause so that it doesn't slow you down, but it's all there. Now let's go into, I'm going to select this.
A Very English Scandal, Ultra HD, watch now with Prime, 1 of 3.
And now,
left and right to move between.
hush. Now I'm on the detail page for this show, and I'm going to do something really interesting. I'm going to go into screen reader review mode. So on Fire TV, the menu button, which is on the right of the first row of 3 small buttons on your remote, the menu button is the voice view screen reader button. I'm going to do a long press of menu.
Review mode on.
And now I'm going to do a long press of left on the 4-way remote, 4-way controller, to go to the beginning of this screen.
A Very English Scandal, Ultra HD.
And now I'm going to just press right to go through everything on this screen.
Rated TV 14. X-ray available. Closed captioning available. Available in UHD. Season 1. The shocking true story of the first British politician to...
Hush. Now, one of the things that is not unusual when you have a TV show or a movie is it tells you who's in it. And so you sometimes wonder, how are the names of these actors and actresses and characters spelled? Well, I'm in review mode, so I'm going to go to navigate by
Word.
Word.
Season 1. The shocking true story of the first British politician to stand trial for conspiracy to murder Jeremy Thorpe.
Thorpe. How do you think Thorpe is spelled? Let's switch mode from Word to
Character Thorpe space.
That's how Thorpe is spelled. And if you weren't sure,
HT Tango.
we give you phonetic pronunciation because E, T, V, C, P, they sound somewhat similar.
H Hotel O Oscar.
I'm not aware of any other television that has a screen reader with a review mode where you can get spellings of characters and actors' names. But that's built in.
I have a question for you. You were saying hush, and so say you don't want all the information. What were you doing to make it just stop speaking for a second?
The play pause button on the remote is the shut up key.
Okay.
So I just say hush when I do it. You don't actually need to say hush. All you need to do is press that button. I'm saying hush, which is also a way of letting customers know, letting your viewers know that I'm making it stop.
And it's a polite way of saying hush.
As opposed to, STUF.
Yeah. So
STFU, sorry.
So you can also do voice commands.
You can. So one of our shows that is fairly popular on Prime Video is called Bosch. So I'm just going to...
I just finished I binged the 4th season.
So I'm just going to pick up the remote. At the top of the remote is the microphone button. I'm going to press that button and keep holding it down while I say Bosch.
Here's Bosch.
And after a moment,
This is the story of a liar and two fantasies.
we're actually getting an ad right now.
And while this ad is going, most of your shows that you produce have audio description.
In fact, let's take a listen.
A view from above shows a boat anchored near an island with imposing green hillsides. Dobbs rides in a motorized vehicle.
This is season 3.
This is, you can tell. So this is audio description on Bosch, one of our many audio described titles. To turn audio description on, when you're watching a movie, pause it, or if you don't mind competing speech and sound from the movie and voice view, press the menu button twice. The menu button is the voice view button, so you have to do it twice to tell it, no, I really want menu, not voice view. And now I'm going to arrow up. Oh, sorry, I'm still in review mode.
Review mode off.
So,
Bosch, Season 3, Episode 10, The Sea Key. Watch from beginning.
arrow up again.
Subtitles and audio languages.
Select this.
Audio language, English, audio description, drop-down list.
And then I'm going to select the drop-down list.
Audio language, English, audio description, 2 of 2, checkbox, checked.
So English audio description is already selected, and that selection remains sticky. But for the first time, you have to go through this process, and it'll be...
Audio language, English, 1 of 2, checkbox, not checked.
English will be checked, and you have to go down and select and check with audio description. And then just press back to get out of this.
Bosch, Season 4 items.
With the Moonstruck moored nearby.
To continue watching.
Pause.
And that's how you do it. Now, this TV not only allows you to watch Prime Video, such as Bosch, but you can watch movies from other sources. So a popular show on another source is, Sense 8.
Movies and TV. Sense 8 button. 2 items. Loading. Sense 8 button.
So I'm selecting,
Sense 8. Watch now with Netflix. 1 of 2.
and then I'm going to select this button, and this launches Netflix, and straight to that movie,
22 seconds remaining.
that show.
Playing. 58 minutes. 23 seconds remaining.
She turns away.
Press OK to pause.
She stands in a lit doorway. She moves off. The boy runs toward the doorway.
So you don't actually have to physically go to Netflix. You can just give the command. It'll find the show, and it happens to be on Netflix, so it pokes you up.
Wherever the show is, Netflix, Hulu, Showtime, HBO, hush. If you just ask for it, we'll give it to you. If you don't have a subscription, we'll offer you typically a 7 or 30-day trial for free, and you can have that billed directly to Amazon. So, for example, if I want to watch West Wing,
Movies and TV. The West Wing button. The West Wing. Watch now with Netflix.
that's a Netflix one. Westworld.
Movies and TV. Westworld button. Westworld. Watch with HBO 7-day free trial. 1 of 6.
Or, of course, you can also, hush. You can also, I'm going to arrow across now from that button.
Buy episode 1 HD $3.99. 2 of buy season 1 HD $29.99. 3 of 6.
So I can also just rent it directly, or I can start up an HBO subscription, and that will just be billed monthly through your Amazon credit card that you have on file with us. And then you can watch it in HBO. And it will launch directly into that show. Now, many of these apps, most of these important ones, are accessible with Voice View, but you don't even have to navigate through their interfaces if you know what you want to watch.
Just by asking.
Just by asking. Just pick up the remote, press the button, and ask.
Now, another great benefit to this and the Fire, if you are already an Amazon Prime member, you have access to a lot of movies.
You have access to hundreds of thousands of movies through Amazon Prime, and as a Prime subscriber, tens of thousands with no additional charge.
That's awesome.
I have a question. I enjoy surfing on my TV. Once you're doing that, will it be telling you the channel and what program as you're going up and down the dial?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, we are too deep into the bowels of this hotel for the antenna to pull in anything. I'm going to, if you want to come back tomorrow, I will hopefully have slurped down several days worth of electronic program guide so that I can show you the accessibility of that guide. I won't be able to tune to anything, but you'll see what the interface is like. Should be there tomorrow. And that will show you how easy it is to walk through the channel guide. And everything I showed you in this interface works exactly the same way in the channel guide. And you can also ask Alexa to just tune to CBS, tune to ABC, tune to Fox, and it will.
Now, I've noticed on other devices or something, take the Siri thing. Like on the HomePod, it's a limited access to what you can ask. Like you can't ask anything. But how is the Alexa on here?
This is nearly the full set of things you can do with Alexa. Where are you guys from?
Minneapolis, myself.
And I'm from Montreal.
What's the weather in Montreal, Canada?
In Montreal, Canada, there's a heat warning in effect until Thursday, July 5th, 7:39 a.m. The current weather is 93 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, you can look for mostly clear skies with a low of 73 degrees.
What you cannot do is calling and messaging features. There is no always connected microphone. You have to press the button every time. So using this as a hands-free calling device wouldn't work. Those are the sorts of things that you would need an Echo Dot, etc. to do. But the overwhelming majority of Alexa things you can do with this TV and this remote. So if I wanted to launch a skill, I could do that, like the Domino's pizza skill to order pizza or many, many other things.
Peter, now this is the 43-inch?
This is the 43-inch Fire TV Edition television from Toshiba. It's $329.99. We have two other sizes in the market today. We have a 50-inch for $399.99 and a 55-inch for $479.99. We have said publicly that more models will be coming later this year.
The TV is a Toshiba, so it's probably pretty well equipped with HDMI.
We have 3 HDMI ports in the back. The first of those is an ARC port, so you can feed audio back into your AV system. Instead of using all the HDMI ports in this, you have an AV receiver. Plug everything into your AV receiver, and then go from your AV receiver into HDMI 1. The audio will come back out over that into your ARC-compatible AV receiver so that you can get Dolby Atmos as sent over the Prime Video or Netflix or Hulu or HBO to the television. We also have one component video input. We have SPDIF optical in, SPDIF optical out, headphone out, and Wi-Fi AC with 2 antennas and MIMO support.
Well, that speaks loudly to me because I have a home system, and that's kind of like what I have. All mine comes from the home theater down, so it would be basically swapping out the TV.
Exactly.
I like that. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the listeners?
Well, there's actually another device. So this is something that came out just a few weeks ago into the stores. There's something that came out last week that's even newer, and that's the Fire TV Cube. Fire TV Cube is the marriage of an Amazon Echo with Fire TV. So you have far-field voice capability sitting on your couch to control all of this. You don't need the remote. But the Fire TV Cube has one other very special thing. It has an infrared emitter to control other devices in your home stereo setup over infrared. So you can sit back in your couch. This is actually my personal Fire TV Cube that I got last week. And when it's at home, I just say, Alexa, I want to watch TV. And the infrared goes out and turns my TV on, turns my AV receiver on, tunes the AV receiver to the HDMI input from the TV, and now I'm watching TV. And if I say, Alexa, I want to watch ESPN on cable, it'll turn my cable box on. It'll tune my cable box to ESPN and turn everything else on to do that. And when I'm done, I say, Alexa, turn the system off, and it turns everything off. The Fire TV Cube is available in stores today for $119.99.
That's really affordable.
Thanks.
So, Peter, your job at Amazon as an accessibility director, so you oversee all the accessibility of the products.
I'm leading the accessibility of all of our device work. I'm the director of Lab 126. Lab 126 is the subsidiary that invented the Kindle and Alexa and Fire TV and all the rest.
I'd like to really thank you for what you're doing and your team is doing at Amazon for making accessibility available and to be inclusive of the visually impaired.
Well, it's really my pleasure. You know, at Amazon, one of the core tenets of the company is customer obsession rather than competitor focus. And when you think about what is customer obsession for the billion-plus customers on this planet that have disabilities, what does that look like? Well, we think this is what it looks like. A device that you can use out of the box without any sighted assistance. A device that addresses all of the access needs that it's capable of doing. When does this podcast come out?
This podcast will be out as soon as we can get it, probably this week yet.
Well, that's great, because on July 16th is Prime Day. Prime Day is Amazon's biggest sale event of the year. It starts at noon Pacific time, and it goes for 36 hours, ending at midnight July 17th. And that's probably going to be the best day to buy these devices, because many of them, probably most of them, will be on sale during that period.
So get up early, noon, right?
Get up noon, yeah. Oh, you only have to get up early if you're in Hawaii. And even then, it's not that early.
Well, that's great. Nick, is there anything you would like to add?
I just would like to know if maybe for my Canadian friends, if there's any chance of it coming across the border soon.
So at Amazon, we've got a long-standing policy of not commenting on unannounced, unreleased things. But we've heard the requests from our friends in Canada, and we'll see what happens.
Hang in there, Nick.
I will.
Welcome to America.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Well, thank you, Peter. This is really great. This is pretty convincing, and I think you won me over as the simplicity, as anybody knows, when you have to connect up a device to the AV device to all the other devices, and this does it all for you pretty much.
Well, thank you very much for coming by. It's been a pleasure to have you. And thank you all podcast listeners for tuning in.
All right, thank you.
Sponsored by Aira.
Aira. Independence like never before.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations and the reality of blind abilities.
The realities of blind
abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.